I looked at this assessment carefully. I found some disturbing things. This was the assessment of only 3 intelligence agencies. The Russia assessment was not coordinated with all intelligence agencies. I was in the intelligence community for a long time. The best way to skew an assessment is to limit the number of players.
That was former CIA analyst Fred Fleitz 2 months ago here on Fox and Friends. I remember that interview very clearly, debunking the repeated line that 17 intelligence agencies agreed that Russia hacked the election. Now that the New York Times and the Associated Press are backtracking on their 17 agencies reports, we asked, why did it take so long for the press to tell the truth? Fred Fleitz joins us now. Fred, good morning. Thank you for being here. We remember reading your op-ed at foxnews.com on May 12th. A couple days later, you came on this program and laid it out very clearly that just the fine print showed this was not an assessment of all 17. First of all, why did you sort of discover that? Why is that important, and what does it mean?
Well, Pete, there's certain procedures to write an assessment like this. All intelligence agencies are supposed to weigh in. Only 3 agencies did. And we found out from former Director of National Intelligence Clapper, a hand-picked group of 12 analysts wrote this. That's extraordinary. At the CIA, there are hundreds of experts who should have had a hand in this. And one final thing, which we discovered after I was on the show before, we learned from FBI Director Comey that the conclusion in this assessment that Russia intervened specifically to help Trump win was based on logic. It isn't based on a piece of intelligence. That means this group of analysts who were chosen through some mysterious process, this is their opinion. Think about that.
That's amazing. I know you always have to make assessments. That's part of the difficulty of the intelligence community based on limited information. But what does it tell you when they've narrowed down the number of people involved? Why would you limit the number of agencies or limit the number of people?
Look, I don't use this word lightly. I think this assessment was rigged. I think it was rigged to come up with the most negative conclusion possible to hurt Mr. Trump and to produce the conclusion that the Obama White House and the mainstream media was looking for. From my experience in the intelligence community, I can't see this any other way.
That's a powerful charge. So you're saying there's information out there that Russia was attempting to meddle in our election, which people have recognized, but they need to go to the next level and prove that our government has found. And so you think a small circle of individuals said, we're going to create an ironclad intelligence document that gives a talking point to the left to discredit this president.
I think that's the case. Did Russia hacking affect the election in some way? Look, I don't discount that, but did Russia intervene to help Trump win? There's no evidence of that. That's a key Democratic talking point, and frankly, I think it is something that was fabricated by intelligence agencies to hurt Mr. Trump by the Obama administration and by pro-Obama intelligence officials.
Absolutely. That's as bad as it gets, if indeed that is true, and it looks like it is based on your reporting. Real quick, why did it take so long for the New York Times and the AP, for these outlets to figure this out and retract it?
If you read New York Times reporting, they've always known this. The initial New York Times reporting last January did specify that this was actually the assessment of only 3 agencies.
Sure.
But they seem to stay silent over the last few months. I think the evidence that this analysis is a sham has been building and building, and the New York Times and the AP decided it was time to back away from it.
Wow, Fred Fleitz, powerful stuff. Thanks for doing your homework and exposing that, the failing New York Times really is fake news. Fred Fleitz,
right.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Good to be here.
All right, coming up, 25 Democrats are trying to pass a bill that deems President Trump mentally unstable. But are they the ones acting irresponsibly? Plus, there's a lot of great American movies out there, but which ones are the most patriotic? Our own Kevin McCarthy, he's here, and he's going to tell us.